And we are recording. Welcome, everyone. This is your host, Abraham L. Jaguar. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products. They have recently released New Flesh, a future noir tabletop RPG where cyberpunk meets biological horror. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by Death Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop RPG where you play as monster girls, experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently published Daughters of Lamb. You play as cybernetic nuns with guns, recovering the lost pieces of their AI god. This is a pay what you want game, and you will find it in their website. The links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is proudly partnered with the What the Funk shop. Please check out their store for all sorts of products. They have dice, miniatures, game master screens, home decorations, and many other things. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment as well. And make sure that you use my code for a special discount. Tonight, I am going to talk about the illusion of hit points in tabletop RPGs. Some people have denied themselves the experience of enjoying D20 based systems because they usually rely on hit points. And this is not me telling you that, oh, it is wrong if you don't like D20 based systems such as Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons, etc. No. Or the many pseudo clones, retro clones, whatnot. Everybody should play the games that they like and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. That is, stick to what you like. But there could be some people that perhaps will enjoy those games, those D20 based systems with hit points, but they are unable to do so because there is a miscommunication on how hit points are used. The hit points were going back to the origins of tabletop role playing games. They were there so that your character didn't die immediately. There are still many dangerous and lethal moments during various adventures, but the hit points, putting aside that they represent stamina, toughness, luck, many things that can keep you alive in battle. They are just there as an abstraction to add survivability because it is a game. As much as we try to roleplay, it is still a game. So there are many things that you could do in real life to try to keep you safe from harm. And that is not always possible to represent it very precisely in tabletop RPGs. So the hit points are there to represent that perhaps you managed to dodge the axe slash or chop to your head. Maybe you just got like a little scratch, or maybe you exerted yourself, and that represents the loss of hit points. But throughout the years, I've often seen some players say, "Oh no, because of the horrible hit points." When you play at higher levels or mid level, battles take so long and other situations also take so long. Context must always be king. In fact, context must always be emperor. The context is emperor in tabletop RPGs. If the context dictates that something will happen in the case of hit points, that those hit points are going away just like that, then it happens. If you have a fighter, level who knows what fighter, level 15 fighter, with so many hit points, let's say 130 hit points, more or less, and a huge rock falls on top of the fighter, a rock the size of a building, solid rock. Do you think that fighter is going to survive if he's in the middle? Perhaps if he got his foot stuck in a bear trap, he cannot move, and a rock falls upon the fighter. That is it. Goodbye. Goodbye. He's dead. When it comes to Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, this is related to hit points. You have the three saving throws, the three death rolls when you are on the ground because you have zero hit points. If you're getting curb stomped by a huge monster, or even a normal another fighter that is quite strong, that is it for you. I'm sorry, goodbye. It all depends on context. In the case of battle, of course, as a game master, you must represent those situations adequately. In the case of the, like I said, you're not going to be curb stomping every single fallen player character. In battle, sometimes you need to think so fast. So maybe you are trying to cut at the fallen player, and the armor protects that player, or whatever luck or chance. Maybe you slip a bit on the blood that is on the floor. That represents the death saving throws, but context is always king. Back to the hit points. If you are playing as an assassin character and you have infiltrated a fortress and your stealth rolls, your sneaking rolls, or whatever in any tabletop RPG that uses hit points or similar way of gauging health, stamina, and whatnot. If you are behind the guard and the guard is almost completely asleep, he has been partying all night and he is nodding and he's exposing his neck to you. Don't make a roll to see if your backstab is successful. He is dead. If you're an assassin and the guard is showing his back to you completely, he is absolutely dead. The problem rises because the tabletop RPGs throughout the years, they have been often taught as if they are board games or as if they are video games, and they are nothing like that. The enjoyment that you obtain from board games and video games lies in working within those narrow rules. You get excited in board games because you play within the confinement of the rules, and you still succeed or you fail. That's exciting. In video games, the rules have been programmed in the game. If they are not programmed, you cannot do it. Baldur's Gate 1. If you see a castle, building, a mountain, trees, you cannot climb them. You cannot climb them up with your hands and legs, and it's not programmed in the game. So tabletop RPGs are not video games, they are not board games. Hit points are there to represent the survivability, but if context dictates that the character dies, or the monster, or whatever, or the ghost disintegrates, those hit points go away. Another example, maybe you're fighting a wyvern, the wyvern, and normally you cast, let's say, Ray of Frost, right? But what if the wyvern is in your face? And the player very creatively describes, I point at the inside the mouth of the wyvern and cast Ray of Frost immediately. Or I speak the arcane words of power, Taraboom Frost! And a ray of frost projects itself from my finger to the interior, to the inside of the wyvern's mouth. Well, guess what? Now that spell deals a lot more damage. As a game master, as a dungeon master, maybe you tell the player, and the player it informs that and make his roll. You see the number of damage of hit points that the wyvern suffers. As a game master, the wyvern suffers 20 additional points of damage as it chokes on the ray of frost or something, right? So hit points. Do not feel forced to use them like, oh, this enemy has 300 hit points. It's going to take forever to defeat that enemy. No, no, no. Take an example. Um, Jason and the Argonauts. This is a not very well known story. Some would say that it actually happened. I will leave that to you, to your judgment. They fought a dragon in the Danube area. This dragon was incredible. Skin stronger, the scales stronger than any armor, any suit of armor, any structure, even the eyelids. The fire that it produced, not only did it have poisonous vapors, it burned everything in its path. So, well, how did they defeat the dragon? Jason and Medea, right? That was the name of his girlfriend. I don't think they ever got married, but well, of his lover. They went into the dragon's lair after the dragon had killed many people, and they realized there is no way we can defeat that dragon just like that. So Medea cast a spell to put the dragon to sleep. The dragon is asleep. Jason started to attack at the dragon, but even the eyelids, the dragon was sleeping with, of course, with his its eyes closed, and Jason's sword couldn't even penetrate the eyelids. It was impossible, and the dragon was about to wake up. Not immediately, but the spell would lose its effect soon. So Medea came up with a brilliant plan. They started to chain the mouth of the dragon completely. They filled the nostrils of the dragon with the bones of its victims. They basically kept him from breathing almost completely, and the dragon woke up from the spell, suffocating. And when he saw Jason and Medea, he decided to unleash his fiery breath. The mouth was secured with chains. The fire built up inside of his mouth. The dragon flew up in the sky and it exploded. They say that that's how the idea for the fireworks originated. I'll leave that to your own judgment. But that's an example of how you use hit points. That is, if the dragon had who knows how many hit points, but the idea was brilliant. I'm sorry, he's dead. The dragon is dead. So I hope you found this video entertaining, um, informative. Speaking of strange things about mythology, tomorrow, remember, I am going to be interviewing Lucius Aurelian, a great philosopher, I would say, and researcher of the old world. So definitely check out that live stream. It's going to happen at 1 p.m. CST tomorrow. Once again, thank you for watching my videos and like, comment, subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. Like, subscribe. Oh, I already said that. Take a look at the information in the description, the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, and remember, tabletop RPGs, you are not having a conversation about your characters. You are experiencing the game world as your characters. Once again, thank you and see you later.